and start sharing, and we'll see if anybody else joins us. So thank you guys for popping in for our What's Up Wednesday. And I was super excited to share today kind of what I am doing in order to book shows at shows, because raise your hand if, that's the easiest place to book a show. Yes, it is. It saves you so much time. It also, I find, when I book shows at my shows, it's those people that have seen Park Lane, that have seen a show, that are like, oh, this is simple. Like, there wasn't a ton of food. There wasn't this big to-do. She just had, her simple jewelry on the table. Oh, wait, hold on. Somebody is needing the link to join. Okay, Laura, thank you for sharing the link. There's Sarah. But, booking shows at shows, in fact, I'm gonna just mute this real quick. Feel free, you guys, to, unmute yourself and chime in or whatever at any time. But I have just found that booking shows at shows, it just makes my life so much easier. And like Sarah, I'm going to call you out on this, because Sarah does mostly online shows. But I know that she's just sponsored a couple of her hostesses. And so she had to give those shows away that she booked from the show. So she was kind of like in the booking from scratch mode. And that's just always tougher. So when I joined Park Lane, like, I was determined. Hey, Holly. Holly and I just had margaritas together last night. So we've been intimate recently. But I have just found that for me, when I am booking shows at my shows with our Park Lane programs, that my business just flows so much easier. And when I got introduced to Park Lane, those of you that were with me at the previous company, like, literally the incentives they had for booking was what drove me to continue researching the company. Because with my older company, so many of us struggled booking. And, booking really takes, I don't want to say a skill, but it kind of does. Like, it takes a skill, developing a skill at a show. Okay. But when the company gives you these carrots to utilize to help you, oh my gosh, like, huge doors open up, because all of a sudden there is more reason for a person to want to book. So probably my first 4 to 6 months with Park Lane, I was just doing it my old way. And then I was like, wait a second, Christy, stop. Like, one of the reasons you joined this company was for this, so that your team could also have an easier time booking shows at shows. Because when you walk away from a show, booking a show, like, you feel like a rock star. Your business is now growing. You're not just stopped from that day, even though you're thrilled for the sales. You're like, okay, where's my next sales coming from? Like, it is the best way to do it. So I decided I had to master the using the programs in order to book shows. And last night we were at our meeting and we talked about watermelons and strawberries. And Holly's laughing. She thought we were going to be making margaritas or something, or some sort of tropical drink. But we were talking about how strawberries have little small seeds, okay? And watermelons have big seeds. And what's the difference between the two? Small seeds are indirect, okay? They're indirect things that you say to people, to the group, to your hostess, that just get them thinking. A direct seed, a big seed, like a watermelon, is more like, oh my gosh, girl, you should think about being a stylist with me. That's more direct. You're not asking her, but you're saying, you should think about this. That's a more direct seed. So when doing a show opener or a group hello or a presentation, whatever you want to call it, it is an incredible opportunity to plant many indirect seeds, okay? I have found that when I book at shows, it's because I didn't just mention it to her once. She probably heard it 2, 3, maybe 4 times. Maybe she heard me talking to somebody else. Maybe she heard me say it in the show opener. Maybe maybe I directly said something to her. But she's heard it several times. So then have the opportunity to think, yeah, that sounds good. I'm going to give you all this little story. Years ago, I've told this so many times, but years ago, I was in the Gap, and I worked at the Gap in college, like, retail at Town East Mall, which is so sketchy. Anyway, that's where I worked. And I knew their formula for, training, like greet people at the front, all this stuff. So anyway, I walk in and, hey, Cindy. I walk in and the guy's like, welcome to the Gap. We have this credit card offer. It was during the holiday season. So if you purchase, if you get the credit card, you can get any item today for 60% off. And the next 4 Thursdays for 60% off, or something like that. Well, what do you think I said? No, thanks. Kind of moved on. Well, then I heard him say it again to another customer. And keep in mind, I went in there for 2 long sleeve t-shirts. This was in November. And I just needed like some bum around the house, long sleeve t-shirts. So I found a couple, but then it's holiday time. So like I start adding, a couple of other shirts, something for my sister, something for my daughter, whatever. So then I hear him mention this again, this credit card offer. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. Well, then I hear him say it a third time. By then I probably have like 8 items on my arm. And I'm thinking, maybe I could come back like next Thursday and I could get this vest for 60% off for my mom and whatever. So I go up to the front register and I ask about the credit card offer. Well, sure enough, I sign up for the credit card. Okay. So my point in this story is people have to hear things a few times in order to then grab on. They have to process it. They have to think how it's going to, benefit them and so forth. So when I'm at a show, I've found that it is absolutely so beneficial to me to do a show opener. And I'm going to share with you guys my show opener. Okay. And I actually just filmed it because Tish was wanting me to do it for the Treasure Tribe. Because I, knock on wood, have been having a lot of success booking at shows. And I do believe it's because I am planting seeds throughout. I am doing this show opener. The customers are hearing what's going to benefit them hosting. They're going to hear why my hostess booked. And then I'm going to ask them at the checkout if they would be interested. So see, they've had a few times to hear why it's going to benefit them and think about being a hostess. Okay. So what I do when I do my show opener is I, first of all, prep the hostess. So as I'm setting up the jewelry, I get there 20, 30 minutes before, setting up the jewelry, we're chit-chatting about whatever, how cute her house is, and then I tell her, okay, so I want to make sure you know what you're getting for your hostess rewards. So we talk about that, how we're going to aim for 10. I always have one of these on my display table, guys. And I share with her, okay, yep, you get to pick any item out of here for $22, one item for hosting, plus you're free, all that. And then I tell her, anybody that books tonight or today, you get to pick another one of those items at their show for just $22. So be thinking about who might want to book. Okay, so I've just now planted my first seed to helping me. So then I say, and then when you have a good number of people here, like, 75, 80% of them, maybe 20 or 30 minutes in, I'll kind of share a little bit about Park Lane, our specials and so forth. Does that sound good? Yeah, that sounds great. Okay. So now, guys, I've prepped her. And shame on me if I chicken out because now I've told her I'm going to do it. So 20 or 30 minutes in, I, by then I've met most of the customers. I've probably maybe even, dropped a few booking seeds. Like if they're loving a lot of stuff, I might say something like, oh my God, girl, you may need a host. Like you love a lot of this. And then I kind of walk away. Okay. So it's time for the group hello. So let me share, hold on y'all, over there. I primarily, like I mentioned, when I was about 6 months in, decided I had to learn how to use these Park Lane programs because they were too good when I was interviewing with them and I needed to know what to do. Well, they have these great style cards. Holly, you're the newest one to sign up on this call. Did you get these? Okay. So sometimes people say they didn't get them. You can always order them online, but I'm going to go through the outline. But I just use those. Do not hesitate, you all, to literally be holding these in your hand. Who cares? Like, people are actually more attracted to you the more authentic things look and simple. So who cares? If you have note cards, does not matter, okay? So I'm just going to pretend I'm at a show and I'm going to do my show opener, and you guys can stop me if you want to or ask questions in the end or whatever. But I start out saying, hey guys, my name's Christy Goodman. I think I've had a chance to meet everybody. I'm so excited you're here. Susie, thank you so much for hosting us today. Like, your house is gorgeous. How fun is this to get your friends together? You guys, Susie and I actually met a month ago at her friend Tracy's show, and she fell in love with the jewelry. I had never been to Carrollton to do a show, and so I was like, we should totally do one. So she was like, okay, that sounds fun. So anyway, thank you so much for being our fabulous hostess, and I'm excited to share with you guys Park Lane Jewelry. So first of all, let me tell you a little bit about me, and then that's where I share my story. So here's what I say. So I am from Rockwall. It's about 30 miles east of here, and I've got 2 daughters. They are 12 and 16, and I've got a husband. I've been married for 20 years, and I've been in this industry for about 10 years, which is interesting because at that time, my daughters were like 18 months and 5 years old, and I probably had no business doing this business because I also had a corporate job in pharmaceutical sales, and my husband and I own a business. And so I was super busy, but something about getting out, maybe, and doing something for me. I'd always wanted to do something for me. I thought, oh my gosh, I'll have so much more jewelry. It'll be fun to dress, because I kind of had gotten to a point where I wasn't focusing on me as much. And then secretly, like, my husband would be putting the kids to bed, and I thought that might be fun every now and then, and I won't feel guilty because I'm earning money. So I decided to get out and try this, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with, having all this jewelry. I got all this jewelry for free, you guys, when I signed up with my kit, or I got a lot of this jewelry for free when I got my kit, and it just made me feel so great. So I started learning more about the business, and about 6 or 8 months in, I decided maybe I could do this instead of what I do and like have a business for myself. And if I focused more on it, maybe I could earn more and be home when the bus got home and so forth. So I decided to. So I've actually been doing this now full time for 10 years, and I love it. But I got drawn to Park Lane just a year ago. And when I started to learn about Park Lane and what they offered, the customers and the hostesses, I got super intrigued and decided to switch companies. And so I wanted to share with you guys what I fell in love with Park Lane that you're going to get to take advantage of. So first of all, something kind of interesting about the company is that they've been around for 63 years. It's family run. The founders' siblings, or the founders' children, actually own it, 3 of the sons. And that really spoke to me. The fact that they had been around so long, I had never heard of it, to be honest with you. And so to me, when I started asking my friends, I was like, okay, this is kind of like a ground floor opportunity with an established company. So I was really intrigued at that. Second thing I fell in love with is a sale. So every woman loves a sale, and Park Lane has a constant sale. So let me explain it to you. When you buy 2 pieces full price, you can get up to 4 pieces half off. So the best way for me to explain that, because people are always like, what? That doesn't make sense. I'm like, I know. Is let's say you went to the department store and you got 2 pairs of socks, and then you went to the designer shoe department, you got 4 designer shoes half off. That's how our sale works, which is never going to happen at the department store. So just enjoy it with Park Lane. But my suggestion is grab our little wish list, and I always have the wish list. Grab our little wish list, write down 6 or 8 items that you love. Do not focus on the pricing. And then I'll do my magic math at my computer, and I will help you get the best price. And at that time, if you want to cross things off, you can add 2, but most times people are like, are you serious? That's it? So it's really fun, and you're going to love it. So find your lesser expensive pieces, get those full price, and then get your other ones for half off. So I fell in love with that. I also fell in love with the fact that Park Lane has an unconditional guarantee. And the way that works is something happens to your piece in the first 4 months, no big deal, free replacement. They don't even ask. Your child could have yanked it off your neck. After 4 months, as long as the piece is still in stock, we have it in our warehouse, they will send you a replacement for just $7. So that to me spoke volumes with quality, and you will absolutely love the Park Lane quality. So keep in mind, you get to take advantage of that. I also fell in love with, well, first of all, let me ask everybody, anybody here been in direct sales before? Have you done anything like this? Okay, so you know that in this business, without our hostesses like Susie, we have nothing. Like, our hostesses are the bread and butter to our business. And so Park Lane has a crazy, insane host program where our hostesses get, on average, about 400 free. They're shopping half off as well. Plus, we have this awesome thing called the Thank You Boutique. And these are, guys, these are our top sellers. These are not like the bargain basement. These are our top selling pieces that are valued up to about $150. And when you host, you can get one of these for just $22. And I know like several of y'all were looking at this Blondie necklace. That's one of them that when you host, you can get for $22. So on top of the free, you get to choose this. Also, we have a host exclusive boutique. You can see it over there. Super elegant pieces just for hostesses. And any of you guys that decide to do a show yourself, you fall in love with it, you want to do one, Susie today at your show gets to pick out another $22 item. So that really benefits her. So let me know if you guys want to do that. And today I actually have decided anybody that dates a show, I'm going to give you an extra $50 in free jewelry for dating it today. So that'd be like $450 in free. So it's a lot. So I fell in love with the host program. Then I also, on top of all this stuff, like as a stylist, they take 2 trips a year. It has one of the highest paid commissions in the industry. Plus, you all, there is a monthly free jewelry program. So a lot of the jewelry here I got for free. So I love that. Okay, so let me share with you now some of my top selling pieces. And then I get into some of the jewelry. And I keep it very simple. I'll say, here are my top 2 layering pieces. And I do the Sierra necklace and the flash necklace. And then I mention, and you guys, these 2 pieces are also in our Thank You Boutique. So that's kind of cool too. These are our top selling, and also as a hostess, you can get for $22. Then I talk about my top selling bracelets. And I mentioned the Talon, the Paloma, and the Jewel, because they genuinely are my top sellers. And I also mentioned, and the crazy thing is, all 3 of them are in our Thank You Boutique. And then my top 2 selling earrings are our Twizzlers and our Moanas. And they are great full price pieces to, give you the opportunity to then get your bigger pieces for half off. So now you're just going to play, have fun, build your wish list. I'm going to be over at the checkout. I'd be happy to, help you with the math. Come over and visit me. And I just want to thank you all for coming. Okay, so that's pretty much what I do. So if you notice throughout, and feel free, if you have questions, ask me. If you notice, I'm dropping a lot of seeds, like strawberry seeds, indirect small seeds from, telling how I booked with her at the very beginning to the thank you items over and over. Because what I have found is some people are intrigued at the free jewelry. Some people like that they don't even fathom that. They're more like, oh my God, that, Buzz bracelet I was looking at on that list. It's just very interesting how different people will grab on to different things. So that's why I try to share all of it. Now, with this being said, do I always get through every single solitary bit? No. I will say though, by prepping the hostess that I'm going to do this, since I have started doing this and being really diligent about doing this for probably the last 6 months, I pretty much, 75% of the time do get through it. So it helps that you kind of warn her and she gets the people together instead of you getting the people together. So that really helps. So then by the time I'm doing checkout, they have now already heard so much of this booking opportunity. And maybe while they're circling the table or whatever, I'm kind of glancing at their list going, girl, you've got a list. You may need a host. It just gets them thinking. So when they get to checkout, then I can say, I would love to come do a show with you. Would you be interested? Or many times they're like, I think I want to do a show, because they've now heard this many, many times. So this is really what I have found. There is, no magic formula. It is just really doing the steps that we are trained to do and following through with it, making yourself do it, getting comfortable with your own words. These are my words. They may not be, as comfortable for you. You come up with your own, but just doing it, because I guarantee you it will make a difference. So any questions? Anybody have a comment? Anybody want to say anything? I'm going to unmute y'all. Okay. Anyone?
Hey, Christy, this is Cindy. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you, Cindy?
Good. Hey, you were cutting out really bad. I didn't know if it's just me or everybody.
I heard you.
Okay, so it must just be me.
Okay, Cindy, I have actually recorded this, and I'm uploading to YouTube right now because Tish wanted me to do it. So I can, share with you the link here in a minute.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, if I cut out for you. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks, dear.
Yes.
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
So if we get the $50, right, but they're not used, their show's not until the next month, do we bank those 50? Like, I feel like all of a sudden, like this month we have 3, but I have more than 3 shows in June.
Oh, okay. So Holly, great question, because I trained a new stylist yesterday and she had this same question. You actually can use 3 for every single hostess.
Oh, but how do
Holly, you place the $50 order on her hostess rewards order. So that doesn't happen. You don't redeem it until her show when you're putting her hostess order in.
Okay.
So it's not, she doesn't get the $50 today. She gets it on her hostess order.
Exactly.
Right, but don't we only get a certain number of those each month?
No, you actually get, traditionally, we get 2 for every single hostess. If you want to use them, you don't have to.
Every hostess.
Every single hostess.
Right. Yeah. And so like now there is 3 months for May shows, but there won't be 3 for June. So for June shows, you don't want to offer, I have, $150 extra. You wouldn't want to do that.
No.
Because for June shows, you won't have that, but you can for May, and that helps you book May shows.
Okay, got it.
And the other thing is, there's 2 weeks left in May. Like, if you really want some more May shows, offer 100 or 150. Like, why not? And keep in mind though, you've got to close those shows in the month. Like, if you use the 3, you have to close those shows by, what is it, May 30th? Is that May 29th is the last day of the Park Lane month. So you have to close those in order to get her those 3. But traditionally, it's 2 for every hostess. And sometimes I use them, sometimes I don't. It just depends what it took for me to book that show.
Hey, Christy, it's Sarah. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, just FYI for anybody new to the team, because I had this question a while back. If you do have a hostess and her party ends on the last day of the month, and for whatever reason she's not ready to place her order, you can close the show without the hostess order. You have 2 weeks to submit her order, and she will still qualify for whatever the promotions were in the month she held her party.
Oh, that's good to know, Sarah. I didn't know that it was 2 weeks to have the same promotions. That's great.
You did. It was like, remember back in January when we were all doing those crazy social sales and we wanted to wait to order until the spring line came out?
Yes.
The only thing is, and I can repost the graphic in our new team group if you want, because it was in our comment, like our message group.
Yep.
You fill out this form, which is really easy to find in back office, and you can actually download it as a PDF and type it in, and you can either fax it or email it. And it processes super fast. So the only thing is that you have to keep that form, the original form, to ever do an exchange, because it will never show up in your back office.
Yeah, and
so something great for that hostess, and she needs to do, an exchange or whatever, you'll have to keep that original form. But I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
Start an old-fashioned file folder. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes I know that we're just all down to the wire on the last day, and especially the last day of this month being so many qualifying things. You know, don't not close out the show because you don't have the hostess order. You do have to physically fill out a piece of paper, but it does not take that long.
Yeah, good point.
But they will honor it past the 2 weeks if you get lucky with whoever you talk to in customer service. They'll probably let you get away with it once if you play dumb, but in general, the rule in the policy says 2 weeks.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yes. And then also something that I have had a new stylist launching this week with her first online party. And, you know, talking to her about the different ways to use the Fast 50s. I share what I do, but obviously that's not what everybody would want to do. And so what she did, and it's worked, this is her first online show. She did her live show on Sunday night, which was Mother's Day. She's a single mom. She works full-time as a finance director at a car dealership. So, I mean, she is crazy busy. But she got 10 orders in her first party, and she's already booked 2 shows. And she already booked 2 shows from this show that she just did. And so what she's done in the beginning, she went ahead and gifted, this was her first ever hostess, $100, and then offered her another $50 for anybody that booked. So somebody booked, well, another person booked. Well, to help her get a third show, what she's done since that friendship ring, I don't know if that's still going to qualify for today or not. I'm assuming that that's going to go away. So maybe that hostess can choose an item for under 100 as a booking. Does anybody know that?
No, I don't know that.
She'll have 3 bookings from her show. So I just told my stylist, if she gets a third one, just offer her something for free. You know, whether it's something she can pick out, pair of earrings or whatever it is, because that's 3 shows, all from this one person's party, in the event that that friendship kind of gift thing is away in the system when we go to close it out. You know, that worked for her, not offering up the whole 150. She was able to get the hostess really working towards having somebody book a show, and she just made them book them within 30 days of this party. So,
and you know, Sarah, you bring up a good point. Holly, I know you're new, and I mean, honestly, Karen, you could do this as well. Well, Cindy could too. Is, you know, letting your, like Holly, you being brand new, you know, saying Park Lane's given me these $100 gift cards, and I'm able to gift them to my, you know, first 5 debut hostesses. Now, Holly has 6 shows booked, so but you're never gonna, you know, not want to schedule another one, so you could actually use that as a carrot to book more. And we all obviously could always use those, just depending on what you want in your schedule. But that's kind of fun as a, you know, like a debut hostess when you have your new collection or you're brand new or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think I realized that it was per hostess. I thought it was literally like each stylist was only given 3 for the whole month. I didn't realize it was per hostess.
Pretty cool, right? It's pretty
that like totally changes everything.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm telling you, when I heard this about the company, I was like, you're kidding. Like, this is really incredible. So yeah. Anybody else?
I forgot the name that you said, but for whoever who just joined, when I started and this helped me launch, I offered Fast 100 to the first 5 people that booked shows with me. And I had 5 people book a show online within 24 hours. And from those first 5 shows, that's what set up my entire business.
Wow.
So, and that's when Christy helped me launch. And I kind of talked to Christy about this, because I do mostly, I mean, I would say 99% of my business is all online. And people like ran to get those first 5 Fast 100s, which they didn't have any idea that that was provided by Park Lane. I just worded it like, I'm going to gift you $100 in free jewelry. So for anybody new, I can say that really helped me. And then from those first 5 shows, I booked like 15, and then it just kept going.
Yeah. Now I just have to decide how I'm going to communicate it.
Well, I like what Sarah said. I'm gifting my, next 5 hostesses or my first 5 hostesses or whatever you want to do. Karen, you could do that as well. I think it's a great idea just to kind of boost.
Didn't somebody wasn't there a post somewhere, Summer might have done it with the hats? It was the summer hats, and it was like, like last week, and it was like out of town or on vacay, and there was the 3 hats, and it was like book. I don't know.
Summer. I think it was Summer. I remember that.
Yeah, I'll follow up. Ooh, I think my internet guy is finally here. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. Can you put me back on mute? Sorry.
It's fine. Okay, guys. Anybody else? Real quick, I want to mention, do not forget about our Founders Day incentives. Not only our additional rich rewards, those adorable Katie earrings, when you sell 2,500. But when you sell 3,000, the beautiful Oceanside, I think is what it's called, Oceanside necklace or earrings. And then when you sell 6,000, Oceanside, necklace. These gorgeous, like super chic pieces. So, okay. Anybody else? Oh, convention. I know Karen's going to convention. I know Cindy's going to convention. We're working on Holly. I know Sarah's going. Angeline. Okay. All right. Whoop, whoop. All right. Thank you guys so much. And like I said, I have recorded that group hello or that show opener. So I will post that for just future reference if you want to listen. And thank you.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye, guys.